Okay, so now that we have successfully put the name of the files inside the dictionary and we have the corresponding name of the file with the corresponding year, we are ready to start combining the data. That means we're going to follow that strategy that we described with the metaphor of the shells. That way, we are going to put each monthly tab of each Excel file in one box, and then we're going to combine them all together. So, first of all, we need to create the shelf. So, I'm going to create a list. So, I'm going to put this in a variable called all data. Okay, and again, this is a Python list. Remember, you can create a Python list via the list function. That's pretty straightforward, or via the square brackets, an empty square bracket. So I'm going to use list because it's more intuitive for me. Then we are going to start importing the data. So what we want to do? Well, for each one of these files, okay, let's say 2020, I want to open it. And remember, inside this file, what we are going to have is the different monthly tabs that contain tables of data. So what I want to do is read the file, go to each one of the monthly tabs, grab that data, and put it in my all data list. Okay, so let's do it. Let's just say for file and here, because I have the combination. In what? Well, in my dictionary, and I'm going to use this function called items because it's going to give me the two things, the name of the file and the year. Okay, so for these two, and here I'm going to make something interesting. This process might take some time, and I want to know how much time is taking and how it's progressing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this function that we imported before, TQDM, to create a progress bar. Okay, so we have TQDM, sorry, right here, TQDM, and that's it. I have this is going to create a progress bar, and that way we know how we are actually progressing. So the next thing that we need to do, well, okay, so we have the file. What we need to do is to read the file. So I'm going to create one variable. I'm going to call XLS, and this variable is going to be the entire Excel file. So I'm going to say Excel file. This is gonna read the entire Excel file. And what is the name of the file that I'm going to read? Well, I have it here in file. So I have read the file, but inside the file, we know that we have 12 different tabs. So we need to read each one of them individually. So for month, because I'm going to iterate through all of the months. Okay, so I'm going to iterate in the month numbers. So that means we're going from 1 up to, normally it should be 12, because I mean, that's the last number of the month. But the range function in Python is what we call exclusive. That means this last point is not included in the range. So if we want to go up to 12, we have to add +1. So from 1 up to 13. Okay, I'm going to use this number from the iteration to create the sheet name. Okay, which is going to be, if we remember correctly, it's going to be month underscore and then the number of the month. So you need to put an F here at the beginning. Okay, so this is the sheet name, and now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to read now the Excel file, but only that specific sheet name. So we're going to read the Excel file, and the sheet name is the one that we just created with the information of the number of the month. Okay, so we're reading it. Okay, with this line we read it, and we want to be able to identify to which month and which year it corresponds this Excel file, this tab sheet that we are reading. So we're gonna create an extra column. It's gonna be called year, uppercase, and it's gonna be equal to what? Well, to the year that we're currently reading. And I'm also going to create another column called equal to the month that I'm currently in. Okay, good. And that's it. The only thing that I need to do is to actually store this data frame, this table that I'm just reading, that that one corresponding to the Excel to the monthly sheet of an Excel file into my all data list, which is my shelf. Okay, so I'm going to say all data dot append, and I have my data frame. Okay, so now I'm just going to run this and everything should be all right. Okay, so it's running, no errors. I have 5 files, so we just progress on the first one and we just need to let this run. Okay, so you see it took almost 30 seconds. It's good to have a progress bar because, I mean, you know how much time is taking. So now if we explore the old data, we can first look at how many different tables we have inside, how many elements, and the length function will allow us to do this and give me 60. And that's totally correct because I have 5 files and 12 months inside each file. So it makes sense that I have 60, sorry. If I inspect this first one, the remember Python start counting from 0, not from 1. So the first one, okay, this is the monthly transaction data corresponding to the year, in this case, 2023, because it was the first file that it was reading, and the first month. Okay, so I have all of this data in this file. So the next thing to do is just combine all of them together. And this is pretty straightforward. We're gonna overwrite that variable df, and we're gonna say my df is gonna be the concatenation of all of these data frames that are now in this list, in this shelf. Okay, the only thing remaining is to say that, hey, I want a new index because I don't want to keep using the index from the previous iterations on which the data was read. So I'm gonna ignore index equal to 2. Now I combine it, it's already done. Now if I inspect what I have inside the F, I have, well, now all of the 60 different tables that I previously stored in all data. Okay, so I have all of this here. Okay, the only thing remaining is to, I mean, I would like to sort it by year and month. So we're gonna say, okay, df is equal to df dot sort values. I'm gonna say by what? Well, first, sort by the year and uh, year, and then, okay, let me run this. That's it. And now if I inspect it, the first entry should be related to year 2020. And that's exactly what we get.